Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are at Blue Moon Infield A for the 6th round, I think it is, of the ALR GR3 League. We're currently sat 4th in the standings of the championship and I've been thoroughly enjoying Blue Moon this week. Even in the practice lobbies we've been doing, didn't think I was that quick, but we managed to qualify first with a time of 107.2, I believe, which was half a second faster than second place. So we're about to start off on a sprint race, 14 laps of chaos around Blue Moon. I'm in the M6 sprint. I'm not the greatest car off the line, especially with the Beetle, which is a beast in straight lines and off the line. So let's go to the lights and see what we can do. So 5 red lights as we hold and wait. Is anyone going to jump the line? No, we all look good on that sense. As I said, the M6 doesn't get a great start. The 2 Beetles both behind me, the teammates, as you can already see, Jezza is already pulling in front with his teammate trying to go around the outside of me there. Now this is a track where the middle sector and the first sector I felt extremely confident in the M6. It just seemed to handle all the corners perfectly and I was able to carry so much speed. As you can see there, I'm already right back up on the back end of the Beetle. But as we go into the final sector, this is where I felt the M6 really was slow. I couldn't quite get it to move round and carry enough speed as I needed to, especially compared to some others. But I do make the dive bomb on Jezza here, going into that hairpin. We pull out alongside, he stays inside, I keep trying to go around the outside and I seem to get the move done. And then as we move back then onto the back straight, I was really confident in this hairpin going over onto the back straight. I was able to carry so much speed and cut that corner very close, and it almost reminded me of Dragon Trail Seaside, where you have to cut it super close to get any kind of benefit out of it. And as I said, this is the sprint race, so this is 14 laps, soft tyre compound, ×2 tyre wear, and we start pulling away from Jezza, who unfortunately has a whole moment of his own and completely wipes himself out. I think that puts him back to somewhere around 12th. That was 16 on the grid today. And that was pretty much it as we move into the final lap now. Like I said, even though it was 14 laps, as soon as Jezza kind of crashed, I think I finished this race 7.5, 8 seconds up in front of second place. So I'm not going to bore you with all of that, but we come round the final corner onto the back straight to take our 4th win of the season, 2nd sprint win I think actually. So all in all, it was a real good race. I really didn't expect to win it by that much, especially considering some of the aliens that are in my tier, so very happy with that. As we move on to the feature, now we run a reverse grid, so even though I won the sprint, I start 10th in the feature, which is always exciting because it does really mean strategy comes into play. It's not like you can just jump on and get away. So as we go now, we are closing down on Felipe Mazda, who is very quick. Can be his own worst enemy sometimes, but so far so good, and he always comes into every track with a lot of pace. Now this is a 35 lap feature, so plenty of time to settle in. No need to do anything crazy here. But as we do come up on Fracas, who seems to go wide into that corner, we end up battling for quite some time. I mean, not to be a spoiler, but it kind of does end up quite a lot like it does in the sprint. I'm not saying I won, but I will just show you the first few laps where kind of all the action actually happened. So there's a Bule in the Blue Beetle, who is Jez's teammate, very quick. But again, I think he actually runs off of McDonald's Wi-Fi because he is the most laggy person I've ever seen consistently. But as we now come back on to the end of the first lap, onto the back straight, me and I go down the inside of Fracas here. I'm trying to steal that slipstream off a Bule, who moves over to give it to Fracas, which just completely cuts me off. And on a straight this long, you really do need it. So I slot back behind Fracas as we go back into T1. Dr. Esty is behind me and he is very quick, so I'm cautious that he's coming in alongside. We managed to get the move done past a Bule, who seems to go wide. As we turn into, I don't actually know the name of this corner, but Fracas goes deep again for the second lap in a row, and we managed to get that move made, and now we're back chasing down Felipe Mazda. So I'm chasing down Mazda, he's chasing down my teammate just in front of him, and it's kind of all systems go from this point. Now I'm on the hard medium strategy here, so my plan is to do 20 laps on the hards, 15s on the mediums, which honestly was an absolute killer. A lot of people were doing 2 stops, but for me the 1 stop is the only way I could really make this work. The M6 does eat tyres. Now as we come back onto the back straight, Fracas is caught right back up. I'm going to slot in between Beck and Mazda, and we end up going basically full wide into T1. We pull out kind of last minute brake early. Mazda's on our inside, Beck's on the outside. We give him a little bit of a tap. Nothing I could really do there. It's just the way the line was going. I couldn't brake anymore. Fracas tries to go down the inside but thinks better of it. I managed to make that corner work, obviously conscious that he was there. And the hunt for Mazda really is back on. Now this sector is, as I said earlier, is the one I couldn't get the M6 to carry much speed through. I felt so slow, and I could be a second up on someone going into that sector, but by the time we hit this corner, they're half a second, 4/10 behind me. But that last corner I was really strong at, onto the back straight. So we're pulling in. Mazda's obviously got some connection issues. He is a little bit glitchy, but I'm trying to flash my teammate just in front of Mazda, try and pull out, give me some slip so we can squeeze him and kind of get him offline. So as we go into T1, I'm trying to go around the outside. Mazda's holding it defensively, but he goes deep and I cut up in front, and now it's BMW. Oh no, Mazda gives us a little tap as I go wide and manage to stay on track, and thankfully Mazda slowed down. You know, I think he realised his mistake there and gives us the position back, but he is not letting it back easily as he is right on my tail as we go in. Again, that corner I can carry so much more speed as you see Mazda behind me hit the wall there. Now, jump forward a lap, not a lot happened, but I've caught back up to my teammate. I'm trying to give him the bump, and I don't see until it's too late. He indicates to let me pass. I think he knew I had a little bit more pace than him this week on the track, but he is normally very quick, and as I go in I overcook it, unfortunately knock my teammate slightly wide, which does allow Mazda to squeeze back past him. So while it let me through, unfortunately it did kind of hurt his race a little bit, and then I jumped all the way to lap 10 because nothing happened in between then. It was just kind of hunting down Wally, who you can see in front of us here. I think he was 4 or 5 seconds in front. So I spent a good few laps trying to catch him down. Now I didn't realise he's on the mediums, I'm on the hards, and obviously I seem to be carrying quite a little bit more pace, but Fred is normally a very quick driver. I know he's not enjoying the BRZ this year, or this season at least, but I probably make a little bit of a dirty dive on the inside of him then. As you can see, he's flashing his lights at me in the mirror. I mean, if you think that was dirty, let me know. I probably could have waited. I would have just got him on the straight anyway, so I didn't need to do that. But we round the corner. Haven't been second place. Nothing again happens for another 10 laps. Just kind of pull away. As we come into pit at the end of lap 20 on those hards, which were absolutely cooked. So starting our medium stint now, and as I pull out, Felipe Mazda comes down the inside. Didn't realise I was there, and I must have scared the absolute shit out of him because he nearly wipes himself out. So I give him the benefit of the doubt. I give him a little bit of space. I let him slide in front. There's no point battling there. We've still got 14 laps to go, so still lots of racing to be done. He's already pitted. He was on a 2 strat, so I believe he was going medium, soft, which his mediums must be dead at this point because I'm flying past him with relative ease on brand new mediums, so he's probably due another pit stop. then that just leads us on to the final lap. So we'll hit the cinematic mode for this final lap. Couldn't quite catch Deck in front. I mean, he started in pole on this one after finishing 10th in the sprint. Saw the opportunity to start on mediums and just pull away. If you get air in this track and free clean air, you can just absolutely run away with it, which is exactly what he did. I think he was 16 seconds in front of me here, and as you can see, that between me and third place is a good 8-9 seconds. So he one-stopped, he went medium to hards, and he just made the clean air work for him. No real traffic for him to deal with. So as we round the penultimate corner, we take a win in our sprint race this week, and we take a second in the feature race, which hopefully, given where the standings are, that should bump me up nicely, if not put me in the lead of the championship this week. But Deck and Jezza are the main two contenders there, outside of myself. So it's going to be very interesting going into the next two races, which is Lago Maggiore, however you pronounce it, and Road Atlanta. So I stream them every Monday, 8 o'clock GMT time. If you fancy joining along, please do feel free to give us a watch and come see some good Monday night racing.